Hello, and welcome to ETF2L Season 32, Week 3. We have for you Se7en versus SVIFT. Pretty spicy matchup. I'm Prawn, and with me is DuMmTm. How are you doing today, DuMmTm?
Pretty good. Like you said, should be a fun matchup. Pretty delayed Week 3 match, I'd say, but that tends to happen when
it's just
Captain
7
eats
things,
spicy
isn't it?
food, you know?
And on production, we have Beta.
Yes, the man himself.
Yeah, this is it got a little bit delayed, but I think pretty much everyone is pretty interested to see how this one's going to turn out, because obviously Se7en come in as the favourites, as the reigning champions, but SVIFT have been tearing it up this season.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you ask people who do like the big three, it's always Se7en, SVIFT, SVIFT the season for sure. And SVIFT's a little bit the oddball. The team didn't quite turn out the way they wanted to, but they still are doing decently well for sure. One against Feint, one against Yak's team as well, coming out of the qualifier. So they haven't had bad results yet. Se7en, however, is a whole different ballpark than those two teams. And like you said, Se7en as reigning champions might be coming into this as the clear-cut favorite, but they also come into this vulnerable of a tie against Ascent on the map we played today, Product. So
yeah, but it's worth noting they did then go on to beat Ascent in the ESL Cup, so they had a bit of a bounce back, and it's not going to be easy for SVIFT if they want to pull something out of this.
Yeah, for sure. But we already speculated a little bit who we see play what, because it's Product. Weird things will always happen. Snipers are an option. Everybody both teams have scouts that are perfectly capable of playing sniper. However, I think you brought it up as well, that you don't think necessarily that might happen. We have people warming up right now, but I think even Se7en specifically, most of them SVIFT, I'm aware of, is not using sniper too much.
We definitely know that Gink's a good sniper. We've seen it since Mr. Epic left. He's went off last week a bit, or maybe the week before now. But yeah, he can definitely do it. But I feel like against a team like this, with the soldier talent they have, it might just be best for them to stay vanilla.
Yeah, SVIFT has the flexibility. Both of the soldiers, Classy, Scruff, are really good snipers, and like you said, Gink as well. And even if one of the scouts goes, Gink is pretty solid scout as well for Premiership level. So they have the flexibility there. Se7en, maybe a little bit less so. They tried it in the past, but have abandoned it since. If anything, I've seen them only play with a sniper and with a single scout, which has its merits as you're more mobile behind lines with the soldiers and for bombs and stuff like that, but it also makes you flank, and either your flank or your medic, one of the two, always more vulnerable due to just less of a scout presence.
It's a big decision to give up a scout on this map, for sure. I don't think we've got any mercs or team changes, so it'll be a fairly set roster for Se7en with Stocky on Roma, Captain Pocket, Tiger and Flesh, Scouts, Cadus Demo, and Roman Medic. Do you want to go through SVIFT for us?
Sure, it's the scout duo of Classy and Scruff, Classy being the new addition, replacing Mr. Epic or Mon. Going forward for SVIFT, Papi and Gink will be the soldier duo, Lucas the Demoman, and Seeds on Medic will be the team here. And I think, like you said, no mercs or anything, which I think was the reason this game got delayed in the first place. I think Cabinet was, I saw on the match page before, Flash sneakily edited that out and was the one being sick. So yeah, they wanted to play on full capacity, and with both teams being here today, it's not a disadvantage for either one.
And it's always a bit weird with Lucas's ping and stuff, whether he's going to be able to play, but I think they got everything sorted. And talking to Lucas, he's been popping off a bit this season. I don't know if you watched last week, but he was dropping like over 400 DPM on some of the maps. So I think it'd definitely be a big factor as to whether they actually get anything out of Product here.
Yeah, and Se7en is most likely a team that is aware of these sort of things and is definitely capable of shutting like the players down they need to be able to win. A Demo Man on Product is obviously always a good choice to focus down either way. And if that's like the main source of damage for the team, the main playmaker to open things up, then you gotta be careful to not overextend into Se7en's defensive play here.
Yeah, we're focusing on Product quite a lot here, because I think most likely when it's coming down to these two teams, it's the map that SVIFT are most likely to be able to cause an upset on, because we know for a fact that Se7en are really strong on Gully.
Se7en is so scary on Gullywash. Like every single point, but specifically last, when the moment they got you on last on Gullywash, it just feels like they have 10,000 options and they deny every single one of yours, and you can't do anything about it. They can just have 3 people dance around the point to some capacity, and you still can't get out even if you kill all 3 of them. And that's what I really like about the playstyle on last there, that they just make it seem so easy to just do whatever they want. And beyond that, on the rest of the points, they're fairly good. They had a really strong showing against Se7en in the ESL Cup. Much more so improved than the first map. I think that was on Process, I believe. So with much less of knowledge here in regards of how Swift approaches that map, it's going to be a hard matchup either way for them.
Yeah, and we've seen Se7en haven't exactly been at their best so far this season, so this might be the week where they decide to step it up a bit. Especially since Cadus is sort of working off some rust as he comes back in the game and he's improving week by week, really.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was even the first game of the season for them, where he had like a bit of a quieter start, and then the second map, Sunshine, he just pulled out some insane plays and shots in general. So he's still capable of it. I don't think that was out of the question, it just was a matter of like how consistent that is for him.
Yeah, how his wrist is holding up as well.
Yeah, basically. Like, it's not the ability of him to be able to do it, but how consistently he can do that. And as long as it's like fairly high to keep up with players of like the capabilities like Lucas, it is by no means holding them back at all.
And we know even when he's not performing, he's a huge impact on the team. He's probably one of the best callers that we have. So, but if we look at the context for what the game means, it's potentially a way for Swift to kind of make a statement here. If they can get maybe a draw, win a map, something like that, it will really send a message to the other playoff teams, because they've already beaten Feint and they're looking to be probably the best of the rest.
Yeah, anything more than 3 points is basically a breakaway to clear first point after week 3 into week 4, which is fairly good, especially considering Lockjam is a map that favors some of the other teams more so than it favors Swift here going forward, since I did look up how long players have been playing, and all but 2, I think Gink and Puppy, I believe, have not played when Logjam was played last in ETF2L. And even then, they were not in like Prem at that point. So teams like Se7en have an advantage on that map. I don't know who they're playing that week, next week, and the week after, but either way, product time it is for now here for week 3.
Yeah, so we are going to be live, and both teams just announced by to check, but it is going to be a vanilla rollout from both teams. Se7en choosing to come quite aggressive onto the point here, sending their soldier behind Saki, trying to cause a bit of havoc, and the red team currently just a bit passive on their own slope as they clean up.
Oh yeah, and it works perfectly. Eventually Lucas comes forward with Yink as well, and Classy on the cleanup that gets so many kills. Lucas gets the medic stack with the late bomb up top, denied early on, and this worked brilliantly. There's really defensive stuff by Swift to hold them off. Seed still dies in the end. Unfortunately, that's a big minus on their part with a late mat there. Means they will have advantage, even if not by much, on Se7en, but the advantage is in their favor. Otherwise, really clean stuff here by Swift to just hold on these early soldier bombs. He said Stark and Captain jumped in early, but neither of them got anything out of it. And that just made the soldier bombs fairly used. The sniper coming out of Gink now for the point defense here.
Yeah, Gink choosing to go sniper against the slight ad, but the soldiers are going to bomb behind and make his life hell by the look of it. This captain comes in and gets shut down by the scout there.
The point is still being played by Se7en, so Scruff, Harp here trying to spam onto the point, but Se7en mostly has control of it. Most of Swift backs off Cap goes Se7en's way. The sniper's still there though, they can't overcommit it to the sideline here, or else this will go bad really quickly, as they're still careful on Swift, not wanting to let anything get behind it. There come the shots, Gink gets the sniper, Stark too late on the bomb, gets the kill, but he goes weak forward as well. Might be able to get out. He's Se7en just really aggressive now. They know what they need to do, they need to find the medic here. And Felash wraps all the way behind from spawn, gets onto Seed, no one with him anymore. Captain picks up the demo from the other side. Really smart stuff there from Se7en. Really nice damage reduction off of the nice shot by Gink.
A bit of indecision from Seeds, I think, there. He wanted to keep hitting his players, but he might have been best just hightailing it out of there once that Raymond went down there.
Let's see, Se7en somehow remained on an even position here. That was just really nice quick thinking, and it keeps them in this point position right now. I have the time lead now by a little bit, 2 minutes left on that clock. Jumps in, my Papi behind, everybody else just playing front onto the point, maybe starting to get some time here soon.
Sure, there's going to be a huge fight on the point. Lucas absolutely destroying Se7en. And there's going to be a bit of a chase on here, see if they can get Ayak Gink on the flank here, if Tiger does clean him up.
Yeah, Stark still behind lines, the Tiger also still around. It's a little bit worrying, but it's only 2 for now, and as long as you can shut them down before the rest of them come in to sack, you have a good position. But nobody really wants to help out Classy. Eventually Papi spawns, but at that point everybody in Se7en is there, and Lucas just gets left alone on the point. That's a quick pick there, and Se7en just back on it. with disadvantage, mind you, so SVIFT still can take this back fairly quickly. But if this Uber is bad, then it's just all the more favored 7 again. They just gave up so much space off of 2 players behind.
Yeah, so it looks like it is going to be a Uber push onto the point from SVIFT, and Se7en just hightailing it straight out of there. We'll see if Raymond can get out. He is being chased heavily and does get taken down by Pappy.
Yeah, 2 nice shots there, cleans up Flash with that too, but they still have 4 people behind them to deal with right now. And everybody committed so far in that they don't know where people are. Seeds backs off right into Tiger, gets the kill. Cadus cleans one up for good measure too. Won't change the outcome of the fight right now as Captain is the only blue player standing here. But for the moment, again, Se7en is just able to clean up these kills after the Downmat dies really, really convincingly.
Yeah, it was a great start managing to get Raymond there, but they didn't manage to keep Seeds up, and they choose to delay the cap here just to make sure their spawns come in.
See, cap is still in SVIFT's hand, and actually Raymond died again.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but he has been caught out outside of spawn, and that's a big push back for Se7en as they'll have to rebuild their Uber from scratch, and they're probably going to have to send in some sack waves.
Yeah, but for now, they've been really good at just that, so SVIFT still needs to be scared, even if they have this occasional scout in front of the medic. Now you need to be careful you do not lose him again, and the flank is being the target right now. Papi Classy denied by just about everybody. Now it's just time for Se7en to go over the point, go straight into the combo. Tiger leading the charge with Flash. They want the medic here. Seeds is on the chase out here onto the spawn door, but he doesn't reach it in time. And there we go, Soldier came with the 2 to clean up Gink on the spawn door. Full wipe in the end there with really convincing aggression by Se7en.
Yeah.
This might be a forward hold.
That's tough for SVIFT, because they get themselves in an Uber-ad situation, but it doesn't matter because they don't have Uber yet, and Se7en just come in with the heavy DM and crush their flank.
Yeah, and really smart fights too they take here to just have these great positions for them. Anyway, forward hold. Pyro coming out to deny that as much as possible, but everybody on the right side against everybody opposite of that on Se7en as well. They break through for the moment, but they don't get anything out of it. And I remember vividly having seen the last few product main games, I see forward holds not last so long, and this is definitely much of an improvement there. The Pyro not putting up too much pressure here, and nobody really getting into Raymond.
It's worth noting how Se7en deal with the Pyro. They back off, get out of the effective range, and just sort of get their medic to a safe position instead of getting forced instantly.
See, eventually they just rotate to cliffside where nothing much of any resistance. Cadus goes down with that too. That's a valuable pick to have on even Ubers here, but they are hard pressed on time. They need to reach the point. Classy still on Pyro. Flames down the medic to low health. Forces the Uber with that, goes down for it, but 2 down on Se7en. Uber exchange eventually comes out. Seeds with the better Uber for now, but they can't flash onto the point. Captain tries to go behind. Papi spots them both. I think one of them got airshot. Papi that was. Captain still goes down in the long ground. Stuck in from behind. Nobody saw him coming. Se7en doesn't want to give up this fight though. With these players they have right now, they don't care about the spawns coming and they just want to do this quickly, and for the moment it seems to be working. Scuff, the last man standing, he gets Cadus spawn and come in for Se7en, and they're better for them. There we go. Se7en really nicely not backing off that very wise decision for them to do that.
Yeah, definitely a chaotic fight, but it was probably a wise decision to keep fighting it rather than give SVIFT a chance to sort of come back into the round.
Yeah,
we are
really
seeing another mid here, and we'll see if Se7en come out with the same aggression, because they got kind of sort of wiped last time after going aggressive on slope. Again, they're going to be sending a soldier behind and bombing through on the slope, but again with the passive play from SVIFT they managed to clean up bomb.
But can they eventually rotation to connector side? Ink trades with Stark. Kills are even, but they have the demo advantage, and that is a lot of damage in SVIFT's favor here. Captain gets behind eventually. Scruff just must open the point for his team to try to get some kills off of Lucas's damage. For the moment they get space, but Cap's still behind, they can't commit too far in, and it just delays so much time for Se7en to get the spawns here. Eventually everybody's back on the point, and suddenly this all turned around for SVIFT to be back off, and Se7en he wants Captain crossed.
Yeah, but they are going to get Uberfest here on the side of SVIFT, and they might choose to push it in here quickly before Raymond does actually get it. Not going to be able to do that quick enough though, unfortunately.
Tiger somehow gets onto Seeds though.
Yeah, Seeds going to get forced on his own side, and that's going to force them to sort of make an aggressive play onto Raymond here. It doesn't work out, unfortunately, for them.
They lose 2 in the process as well, only scouts and 1 Solly left alive. Not the greatest caster to desperately try to force this Uber with. And Se7en just really confidently just keeping the point in their possession here. Forcing the Uber early and keeping the advantage with that as well. Not even like a delayed exchange or anything. They just were in no danger there whatsoever. Really nice play by Tiger. Just using his awareness to just find the opening when he needs to. SVIFT not giving up though. They really can't afford to. They already lost a minute here.
Yeah, SVIFT aren't happy to just sit back and send in sacks. They're going to be finding the point here, but they do lose someone early on the flank, and they're going to lose another, and that's going to pretty much put pay to that aggression.
Yeah, really nicely shut down yet again, and Se7en wants some more here. Seeds doesn't have Uber yet, and anything that dies right now is nice, as long as they don't need to use it, but they start taking damage and wisely back off immediately. They don't want to use it necessarily, as long as they are in risk of, you know, something much worse happening, Raymond dropping or something like that.
Is going to be coming onto point now with the Uber, the Lucas and a Scout, and they do choose to push in and manage to force Raymond. So a bit of a sort of even Ubers, I think, at the moment. Nobody coming out there off, but Gink goes behind and gets cleaned up. This is going to be sort of better for SVIFT on the point, as 7 players are getting cleaned up one by one.
Yeah, half of them were behind, the other half wanted to back off again, and it just kind of got dislocated from where the actual fight was happening, and the players behind lines got cleaned up early. They didn't go far behind at all. They tried to stay in the fight, but the Uber was just a bit better by Seeds, despite being the ones going aggressive here on the Uber exchange, and it works out just about for SVIFT. Get the point back, 2 minutes already off 7's clock here, but now in a better position. Even if it's even Uber, they have the point, they can defend this.
We'll be seeing a defensive sniper from Gink here, yeah, as he tries to shut 7 out without the forward hold. He's going to get the shot onto Raymond again. He's done well at that on sniper so far.
Yeah, and 7 again too slow to actually get the kill onto him. They still try, but they fail again. Stark shot down early. 7 just playing the point for now, but you need to delay for the medic to not have the worst spawn here, and that gives SVIFT just enough time to push up again with down numbers. Push out Tiger, push out everybody else. Don't get a kill with that, unfortunately, but with Raymond dying to the sniper, they will still have the advantage here. Yeah,
they'll be hoping to turn this Uber into a bit more point time this time, because last time it didn't quite work out for them. But they're going to have the Gink sniper, and that's going to make things difficult for 7.
Here comes the sack wave. Cadis sniped down immediately. See, however, gets jumped by Stark, and he gets the damage off. There we go. Force comes out. That's what 7 has been looking for, and has been fairly consistent at so far this game. 3 go down. That's affordable. You have your advantage now. It's just a matter of not walking into the sideline before it's too late.
Yeah, a bit of a shame that Seeds gets forced there, as one of the bombers gets taken down very early. It's just a really good bomb by Stark.
But they all go forward with this, and see, Raymond even, excuse me, doesn't have it, and they just get crushed on.
Yeah, Lucas destroying on Cliff there. They kind of just walked into him a bit too aggressively.
Nice awareness by Raymond, though, to not be the first one to go for the door, though. So it's Raymond, the one they actually wanted to kill here, stays alive.
They wasted a lot of time though as well. After getting that force, they might still have to go into an even Uber fight.
Yeah, that's also really heads up play. They're looking for the shot, can't find anything for now, but here they come slowly to the point. Kate is leading the charge.
Yeah, they're going very deep here, and Seed still hasn't used. He's milking this a lot. Kate just can't hit the shots. And the Uber is going to be a lot better on the side of SVIFT, but they only have a couple of players around.
Yeah, that could be sketchy. They only have the Demo and the Scout here on the Uber, and Cadis from behind comes in with the huge sack wave. Stark as well on that. Everybody just chasing them deep, while Raymond just left the fight completely. Really smart decision by 7 to just kind of leave the medic back in their own half, and everybody else goes aggressive post-Uber in what should have been a much worse Uber fight, but smart decisions. Turn it around, Gink left alone on Cliff. Everybody else is slow.
By Flash, yeah. That's a bit unfortunate. Seeds managed to kind of milk for a long time there, but it didn't work out, as he's only left with a couple of people to DM with. It's gonna leave 7 in control of the point again.
See, Cadis involuntarily juggled in, barely survives there, needs it out desperately. But his team is there to protect him. Everybody wanted to get the cleanup. Nobody did in the end. Flash and Tiger protected the Demoman, and now it's 7's time to go aggressive on Cliff, and it's so much damage.
Late there as well, which isn't great for them. This is going to be a non-Uber push into the point, probably, to try and contest.
30 seconds, yeah, the only chance they have to get an Uber here is if it goes to overtime, at which point this forward hold needs to just start, end with Raymond dying, basically. And that is so difficult to accomplish here, so it all comes down to how good this forward hold is now.
Yeah, Cassie going to be running the Pyro to try and break the stranglehold, because they really don't have time, and they're probably just going to have to bomb a soldier for the point at this rate. The Uber does get poked from Raymond in main to deny the entrance of all of the players on SVIFT pretty much.
Bit ambitious, and I feel like they were not quite on the same page. They're only Flash on Uber, and he kind of did want to be part of it, but they just got about enough kills for this push into the point to not really happen at all. Waste time there, and smart decision by 7 yet again to just waste time where it counts, and suddenly it's 2-0 already.
Yeah, already. Big lead for 7 is going to the next mid. See if we see pretty much the same thing happening again with early aggression from 7 and SVIFT choosing to play on their own slope. Bombs in again from the 7 soldiers. Managed to get Lucas quite early with a sticky from Cadis, and he cleans up Classic as well.
Yeah, Bombs this time doing a lot more work for 7, and again, this defensive position by SVIFT might keep them alive normally, but this time, the moment it doesn't, they just don't have any ability to fight back. It does leave Seeds in a fairly safe spot, and not getting bombed late. However, 7 does not give up quite yet. Safe bombs coming up by Stark. barely strafes out of there after getting air shot, but that was kind of the point to be able to strafe out safely there. So well done there to keep themselves alive. But Swift, on the other hand, also no danger from those bombs. Can come forward now. Aggressive get flash. Early Stark tries to jump the tower, but is just a danger himself. While Crop just goes for the tower, but nice arrows by Raymond. But Cadis is just so overextended, he barely gets out of there.
Yeah, Se7en plays very weak here, getting pretty much destroyed by a big damage from Lucas there, and Seeds unfortunately has to use at the end there. Because that would have been great if they managed to do all of that without forcing.
Yeah,
now they're going to have to face the 100% Uber on the side of Se7en.
Here comes the sack attempts by Se7en out of spawn, trying not to use first. He eventually kind of just has to. Puppy gets the jump in, nobody with the medic just in time. It's a single kill they've got so far, but they still have a non-dual situation at hand here with Lucas weak and the player down. Lucas already being chased by the scout. There we go, Tiger gets the kill, all of them on the point, but the rest of Swift is fairly far out of there, so it's not much more than the point for now.
They did a good job of cutting that. They managed to get their med out, and they should be able to build a bit of an ad here. It's going to be tight though. So if they do want to repush, they're going to have to be fairly quick after they get Uber, as they choose to come out right side here by the looks of it. They're going to rotate slope and bring Seeds up through. If they're quick here, they might be able to catch Se7en out before they get Uber, and they are choosing to get aggressive early. His jumps out, but the chase is on to catch Raymond. He does a great surf to get out on the left side, and nobody's catching him after that.
That was phenomenal by Raymond, and the jumps coming again. Starkey gets denied, but Scout and Soldier still behind lines. They are aware, but it's still a lot of danger here for Seeds. Tiger on the other side of the jump surfs into the Scout, but these people are with them. Gink and Scruff defend him. Tiger still alive down the push with the Uber comes in by Se7en at the same time, and it just delays him so much. Seeds is fairly far out. They might be able to catch him if they're quick, but no, the jump of Stark falls into nothing, and there we go. Uber pushed. Comes out fairly early by Se7en, and maybe just about too early here.
Yeah, clutch play from Raymond, stay alive and keep the Uber for that fight there, and it's going to put Se7en in a position where they could potentially contest this fairly early on, because Seeds did die in that last fight.
Yeah, Kate is just sniping him down with a stick. Yeah, everybody wants to get Raymond, but he's just out of there, knows the situation way too well there, and they are happy with only getting 30 seconds. If the next push can give them a lot more than that, so they save themselves the Uber advantage. Back into spawn and back into the point right now.
Yeah, and this time Ging not choosing to go to the sniper for the defense, so it's just going to be a more even fight here. As Swift do choose to send a bomb in, but he's going to have to hightail it out of there straight away, and it's going to be a straight up DM fire on the point by the looks of it. Yeah,
and with the Uber advantage, Se7en hands so scary for Swift, they can't overextend to this without being like popped on fairly quickly.
Yeah, Seeds in a lot of danger the whole time they're playing this aggressively.
Yeah, so they gave up the point fairly early, they couldn't commit for the point, but they don't want to give up all the position here. They would keep wanting to find damage, maybe find a force or a pick with that to play off, but it's so hard to do if Se7en just gets enough damage on yourself while doing so. There we go, Flash and Tiger team up on Puppy up top on Rock. Stark tries to go in deep as well, tries to get a jump. Doesn't have a good position, sides fairly quickly, and it doesn't matter too much. For now, Se7en is in the better position. Swift are forced to make a move here.
Yeah, Swift's going to have to push in here without a Pappy, and it's going to leave them in a similar situation to earlier where they don't have enough players to Uber and they can't get the damage out.
But Se7en's flank was so aggressive on connector side, and they keep on dying there. And the Uber rotates over to try to help, but it's a little too late. Swift, much better position on the flank there. Raymond, the last one alive, just kind of goes into dive for the best of the situation.
Not sure about that one, a bit of happy feet, but he just ends up delaying his spawn.
Yeah, it was already over at that point. Like during the Uber exchange at the beginning of that, Swift and Se7en were taking the fight at connector side, I think on the pack on Swift's end here, and Swift was just so better suited for that fight. They just outnumbered them on the flank instead of on the Uber, and it worked perfectly for them.
Yeah, Swift understanding here, they need to waste a lot of time on the clock and come straight out with the forward hold. They do actually manage to pick up the Pyro early as well, so it's not going to be broken as easily as Se7en hoped. Ked is jumping in now, try and get some damage onto the med. He isn't hitting much at the moment, unfortunately, as Seeds dodges out of there.
Ooh, but Ging overextended into spawn will go down for that, and what he does end up trading there for Tiger on the point position, you will have to work spawn, so he will still be up much later than Tiger will.
The Flash Sniper might be a factor here, although he might be choosing to go back. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it would have surprised me if that came out now. He's going Pyro for the forward hold break attempt. Not necessary quite here. Stark actually dragging people so far back with his jump behind lines. Will get spotted eventually by Gink, will go down at spawn. And Se7en slowly taking space on point with what they have given out of those jumps behind. But
the Uber is going to come
does have he just about gets it.
And it's going to be a even over fight on the point, but again, not many players on the side of Swift here as Se7en go back to try and clean up Classy, and the point is retaken by Swift, kind of forcing the Se7en players out on their own flank.
30 seconds about each. And Se7en forced to make the move here. They come forward slowly. They have some decent damage. King's bombed straight on the Tiger. Takes him down. Scout down already. Flash on the armor still aggressive. Gets counter-tanked though by Scruff. Scuffed down by Cadis just walking over the point though. Gets 2 for 1. Gink gets Scruff going down to the demo man, but Raymond dies at the same time. And capping the point here is such a weird
manages to survive that as well, which is crucial as it stops them aggressing across the point. And with 2 soldiers also up, they're going to be able to recap here.
Yeah, they had to delay that as well, otherwise Raymond would have gotten a much worse spawn here. They give up some time on a point, but with this little time, it's basically overtime anyway. So they delay it a little bit, give Swift a bit more time advantage technically, but realistically will have better heals here. But Seed still has advantage.
The Uber is potentially going to come into play here on the side of Swift with Seed's in a pretty big ad here if you can stay alive.
Spot by Captain though, he did so much damage and everybody's stuck under the fence.
That's a shame. I feel like they really committed hard to Seed getting Uber before they contested there, but what they ended up doing is giving up so much ground as a result that the bomb just came in and crushed them.
Yeah, and in the end, Se7en taking this 3-0 in somewhat convincing fashion for sure. Swift improved on the map, I would say, and I like the little like switching between Scout, Soldier and Sniper they had going like eventually, where they just switched up for different situations, but it just wasn't enough.
Rough on the side of Swift, but they definitely improved. And although I said they're probably more likely to cause an upset on this game, we know Se7en aren't infallible. Gullywash will still be a good watch, hopefully.
I am gonna be the devil's advocate here and take the opposite side and say that Se7en is gonna be really, really dominating on Gullywash. So, you know, it's a win-win either way. Either we have a really close, good match like you want, or my prediction comes true and we just see like the best Se7en has to offer basically for Gullywash. So I'm excited either way. One of those two will happen probably.
So if we have a quick look over the logs here, we can see that the scouts on the side of Se7en, as usual, going absolutely ham. 400 DPM from Flash, a bit of a monstrous game from him. Like, both the scouts on the side of Se7en only dying 11 times, and it was quite evident in that game that they were pretty much cleaning up anything that came towards them, and you can see as a result, Gink sort of suffered. He is struggling to get the bombs in that he wanted.
Yeah, what I like to see here is that the damage and kills aren't that far apart, so if you haven't actually watched the game and are just like a log watcher, basically, to know what roughly happened in the game, and it really doesn't tell you how this went, because for the most part, Se7en was still fairly in control, maybe not like completely 3-0 dominating fashion, but still fairly in control, despite what damage and kills might tell you overall. And it just really shows that the fights Se7en took were just really, really smart overall. And every time they went into a disadvantage, they evened it out really, really quickly.
Yeah, and mentioning log watchers, 8 air shots from Pappy for all you log watchers out there. Pretty monstrous. But he didn't have a great game overall. I feel it felt like he was getting disconnected from his combo sometimes, and not able to have the impact that he wanted. But you can definitely remedy that here on Gullywash.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. What else is there to see here on the log? Sometimes there's some interesting stuff that just isn't that apparent in the game. Let's see. Not really something that isn't necessarily surprising is that on Swift's end, Seeds had more deaths after charges. This happens a lot when you're on the disadvantaged position more. It just basically goes to show that they had to push onto the point more, had to use the Uber more to get on it in the first place, and more often than not on the map like Product, these fights are the ones that you start taking, you pop in first, and your medic is in a worse position afterwards. It's really, really unfortunate, but it just, in comparison to Raymond's single one, it really shows how the game went much more so than out of the rest of the logs.
That definitely reflects the game, because we saw positions where Raymond was able to get out without using Uber, and maybe they managed their Uber a little bit better so they didn't have to use it in dodgy positions, because we definitely saw some kind of fruitless Ubers on the side of Swift.
Yeah, and I think Product, if you just like to look at logs, is probably the only map where major advantages lost is 100% a good stat compared to sometimes a good stat.
Oh, you love that stat. You love it.
Yeah. It just really shows that you have control over the point and you can just take your time to get your own Uber. And they can't do anything about it.
So then, we'll be going on to Gullywash next. How are you feeling? Well, we've already said that you think Se7en are pretty strong favourites here, but I'm not so sure. I think there could be a couple of rounds in it at least for Swift.
I am definitely still in favour of Se7en here. I am totally not opposed to the idea that Swift can still pull one out here, so I'm still looking forward to it. It's still going to be interesting. It's a bit of a shame that we don't have previous data on Gullywash for these teams, since it is like the first match for these guys we've seen against each other.
Well, all we know is that we have this reputation that Se7en have for being good at it, but I'm not 100% sure how strong SVIFT are.
Yeah,
I've definitely seen them winning scrims on it though against people like the Theorists.
Yeah, I mean it's scrim results. It doesn't like the result for scrims shouldn't matter as much as like how it came to be. Basically, is how I approach watching scrims.
Yeah, definitely.
So like sometimes you see the teams like try very weird stuff that you don't end up seeing too much in the actual game, and it's just like testing phase, and that's what you should be doing in scrim. Test stuff out. But at the end of the day, if the more stuff you have that works, the better for you, and if that already shows in scrims, then that's a good sign going forward.
I'll definitely be interested in seeing how the mids unfold, as soldiers on both teams pretty sort of aggressive style. They like to create a bit of a mess on Gullywash mid. I think we could see some big bombs from the likes of Gink and Papi sort of make space and potentially win a mid.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they do in the mid fights, because for the majority, well, I'm saying for the majority, for all three of the mid fights we had on product here, it was a fairly like defensive setup for SVIFT, and that's kind of funny to think about, because when people hear SVIFT compared to Se7en, you think SVIFT's going to be the aggressive one and Se7en's going to be the passive one, but it kind of was the opposite on product. So I'm curious to see how this plays out on 5CP in comparison, because the days of Se7en slow die, mostly of obviously they still play slow when they need to, and as it turns out, that happens quite a bit against the better teams.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is to do with their roster changing though. People like Tiger are just naturally more aggressive, right?
Yeah, it just definitely developed to be a little bit more aggressive over time, and for the better or for worse, it definitely changes up how they play quite a bit. Maybe takes a few more risk here and there, but it definitely still paid off in a lot of other ways, and that might be just stuffing out counter aggression much better as well, instead of just letting the other team try to figure things out. It depends heavily on the team, and SVIFT so far has been looking a little bit more defensive than I expected it to be, at least. So we'll see how this plays out on 5CP.
Yeah, I think part of that defensive playstyle is gotta be down to the medic Seeds, who's generally less aggressive, but we did see a couple of brave moments from him trying to stay in when potentially could have been bombed and holding that Uber.
Yeah, so I remember seeing like a log from recently when they scrimmed Gully against our product against I don't know who it was, and they lost like 3-0 or something. That was a really bad loss, which is much better in retrospect how they did now, which was also 3-0, but a fairly respectable one at least. And they lost, but somehow Seeds ended up dying like 2-3 times less than the other medic, and like less than anyone else on the server, despite losing like convincingly 3-0 on like a map like product as a medic. So yeah, he's definitely the defensive type for sure.
So a bit of a delay here. We're waiting for people to get on the server. I assume that's just because Se7en all have to have 20 smoke breaks a game. So probably, this will be the halfway point.
Tiger just needs to hop onto a DM server real quickly to warm up for the second map. Make sure he's actually recording demos to not get banned again.
So if we bring it back to the sort of overall picture, this kind of a bit of a disappointment with SVIFT that they couldn't get the first map, which we thought it might be able to make something happen. But they're definitely looking really good this season. Like, a lot of people thought maybe Feint were the third place team and it was a bit of a toss-up, but so far, SVIFT have definitely set themselves apart from Feint, I'd say.
I would say so too. Feint still has the potential, I would say for sure, but they're lacking a little bit in consistency right now, which SVIFT doesn't seem to quite suffer from as much, which is surprising because they had significantly worse roster issues. Mr. Epic being lost early on in the season, Samdi basically leaving right before it even started, and some other stuff as well, Chris, I think, too. Basically, like every other position on the team was changed somehow before the season started up until Mr. Epic left. So, like, the team has gone through a lot, but they all kind of work together still, and that's a good prospect going forward if they still want to make playoffs. And despite having lost the first map, and regardless of how this goes, they still have a really good shot at it, I would say.
Yeah, and even though they've lost those players, there have been some good replacements come in. Classy's performed well last week, not done so well on product today, but he can definitely still make an impact here, and I think he's going to be a solid Prem player in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they wouldn't pick him up for no reason. I mean, you need to have confidence in the players you pick up, and especially on the scout role, there's plenty of people you could pick up, so much more so than, like, say, Medic or Demo, where people are often, like, desperately needed, and things are just, like, really weird sometimes for teams to try to get the position filled. But for Scout, you just have so many options, so being the one chosen for a team like this is still fairly good for you, both your confidence, but also, you know, a daunting task a little bit that you need to deal with.
And having flexible players like Gink on their roster obviously helps, as he can sort of switch between Scout and Soldier. Probably fancies himself on pretty much every class at this point, though.
I mean, if you play pucks every day, then you better be decent at them, you know?
I want to see that Seed Soldier, man. Put someone else on there.
I guess this is as good a time as any to mention, you know, that both of these teams will be going to land, and Se7en is already fairly decked out, like, money-wise to get there from last season's winnings,
Moneybags Cadus. He'll pay for all of it.
No, but they got the ticket sponsored from winning last season, well-deserved as well. SVIFT, on the other hand, are still a little bit short on money, so I think there's a TFTV page that you can check out. I forgot the link. Maybe somebody can post it in the chat.
We'll definitely try and talk to them after the game about it, see if they want to promote it or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you would imagine they would if they really want to go to LAN. And I heard rumors about nice and friendly-looking prize pool that you want to play for. So, you know, don't want to let this opportunity go to waste, you know. And even then, like, regardless of just competition, it's just a really nice social event too, on top of everything. And yeah, I'm already dragging the amount of work I have to do that. It should be great.
Like, why wouldn't you want to see players like Lucas and Seeds and Scruff at LAN, or even Pappy's huge Rockets?
Yeah, and if
that kind of stuff offline is even better. Like, some of them have put in performances at previous LANs as well, so...
Yeah, and if you just, like, you know, have the ability to go to LAN yourself, you could meet them yourself as well, which is always fun.
You
just
could.
Meeting people in general. I mean, I will be going... If you think you said you can't, unfortunately, but you will be at the next Insomnia. So, you know, at least something.
But yeah, you could actually touch the real Ayat Gink. Unbelievable. Don't know if you'd want to, but...
Or if you let you.
The opportunity's there, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know if they would let you necessarily, but sure, you could try.
Well, does he have a security detail around him at all times? Just Lucas on one flank, Pappy on the other. Who are you?
Yeah, they just like other combo seats all around the venue.
Oh, yeah, we have managed to get 6 players on both teams, so hopefully we'll be able to give you some games soon.
It would be Prem if it wouldn't like be wasting a lot of time between maps, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't. It definitely wouldn't be 7.
It's always my favorite thing when, like, before the first map, in like whatever diff, and if it's an official scrim, doesn't matter. People always try to hurry the other team up, like, oh no, we need to leave in a bit. And then after the second, or before the second map, everybody is just wasting as much time as possible, forgetting about everything.
Speaking of hurrying up, it does look like we are going to be going. And I think on this mid, we'll have a look at the Swift Soldiers and see what kind of plays they want to make to try and get an impact on this map early.
What is happening? This looks like a server reset.
It does look like a reset.
Even. Somebody must have done something bad.
It says here Raymond's HUD's not working. Classic TF2.
7 Stark.
You don't need a HUD to play medics. Shade once played a whole ESA game without needing one. ESCA game, sorry. Without needing a HUD. They won both maps.
I mean, either you're alive or you're dead. That's all you need to know. Basically, you know.
Oh yeah, there's definitely not anything.
And somebody else can call Uber for you, you know.
I'm sure he can count that in his head, right?
I mean,
HUDs are just a crutch for bad medics.
Who needs a monitor?
Hopefully we'll be able to get going soon, and they haven't all decided to go for a smoke break while he changed his HUD.
Oh no, Flash broke his keyboard. What are we gonna do now?
They're making these up. They're having us on.
Ooh, I like this bind with seeds. Oh, never mind. Okay, no meme binds anymore. Good, probably for the better.
Yeah, so as I said, be interesting to see what Swift want to do on mid here. Hopefully their soldiers make some aggressive plays, and we'll watch Lucas as he's rolling out. Pretty speedy here, shouldn't get caught out by Cadus. Both demos choosing to play in the choke. And it's going to be Se7en taking the early position with Cadman on point. Both teams just sort of figuring each other out.
There we go, bombs come in though, and Cadus across the point as well. Whoop, that goes down so early though. They just went all in for that one, and they got Lucas for it at least, but it's not looking too good after that. Papi gets the clean up with Scruff's help onto Captain, and that is pretty much the mid fight over.
Yeah, the bomb's not working out for Se7en there, and Swift are going to be on the base here, trying to get Rayman with
but they all feed into the Scout.
Yeah, the Scouts are so efficient at defending Rayman there, and it's going to give them a chance to mid back.
Yeah, they just overextended so much. They just went in deep, expecting him to already be right in shutter to pop in beyond Raymond, but Se7en was just like way further back on second still that they just ended up walking into scouts and die all one by one there, and they just gifted them the mid-fight after Se7en basically gifted them in the first place. You want this? No, you can have it back. We don't want this.
Yeah, so it's going to leave us in a position where it's even Uber side. Captain jumps through choke, manages to take down Lucas before he gets cleaned up. That's a big pick, opens up a lot of space for him.
Yeah, the question is what they do with this one now. At the moment, they're just like kind of slowly peeking, seeing the options, what they can do here. Everybody's back on the field for everybody now, besides obviously Captain and Lucas. And there comes Uber pop straight in. They got the space, no sticks to deny them. However, Uber exchange, it will be in nothing else for now. So he better proceeds, but not enough to really chase anything deep here. Yeah,
Stark not managing to cause much havoc behind either, and it's just going to be a bit of a kind of nothing push there.
But Cadis goes in deep, tries to open up things for his team, but nobody really abandons position. Choke doesn't take the bait. He's worked really nicely played now. Don't well, go back.
There goes Tiger.
Everybody feeds.
Yeah, just a bit of an overextension from Tiger there, and his team kind of wanting to at least commit a little bit with him do also end up dying.
People don't respect doorways today, it seems. Stark is still here, still causing trouble, but there's just so many people around, and that rocket will just about do the job there. Pretty much a wipe. Spawners just came in here for Se7en, but Swift convincingly won that one. I like the idea by Se7en, but the moment it went back, the moment Chaos died, trying to go behind that was already way too ambitious in my eyes.
Yeah.
And going behind with the DuMmTm there, they just, I don't know why they still try
and
to
there's the flash sniper in forward spawn here, and I don't think Swift know about it. They just see him as he peeks out and he doesn't manage to get anything with it.
Yeah, Swift can just carry on this momentum really nicely with the Uber advantage forward and try to get this Uber into last before Raymond has, which will probably work. There's a sentry gun on last, but however, Navi also has a battalion, so probably ready up to go at any point here.
Yeah,
Uber comes
it
in.
Looks like he's going to be bringing it in with the Uber as well, so potentially the after Uber fight could heavily be in the favour of Swift with that huge resistance against the heavy. They just need to get some point time here as Hades to stick the whole thing up, and they've not got any damage onto him.
But there we go, the damage resistance coming in clutch. Cadis could have just dead there, killed both of them, but the 30% damage resistance kept both Pavi and the scout alive. He had to pipe them down, which gave them plenty time to kill him, and not enough time for the spawner still to get out of spawn, block the point. Really nicely played, just going for the kills there on the advantage they had. Paid off nicely there with the banner.
Yeah, great job from Swift, making a statement early on saying we will not be crushed on Gully.
Yeah, it was a weird first round to be honest, but let's see how people come back here.
Yeah, it looks like Se7en are going to be a little bit more aggressive on the point here. A big bomb coming in here from Pappy, trying to get the medic, but he doesn't manage to as Raymond starts through elbow.
Ooh, there comes the moment by Stark and Captain from the front lines, and everybody follows up with that. This time aggression for Se7en, paying off much more. Seed staying alive for now. Captain with the attempt to follow up, tries for the airshot, doesn't matter. Scruff still falls to his death anyway, but Seeds will stay alive with that. Again, aggressive attempt by Se7en, this time paying off much better. Ging still behind lines is a bit of annoyance, but not a major threat for the medic.
If anything, Se7en would probably prefer that as they get ready to push into last. With a bit of an Uber, it might not actually be an ad by the time you get there though.
Let's see how this ends up going. Obviously even Uber is here, so Se7en will have to put in some work to get this going. Eventually Stark trades with Ging there behind lines effectively. Tiger cleans up the kill for him. And yeah, like I said, this is a position where I like watching Se7en at, but let's see what Swift can do against it. It's hard to work against what Se7en can do here, but it's not impossible, so I'm curious. And I think I heard Cadis say exactly that on the stream once, which is that on any last point, the moment the gun goes down, you have so much more freedom to do stuff the way you want to as an attacker, that needs to be a priority at all times.
And Stark, when he spawned here, has given Flash a chance to get an off-class in too. So we are going to be seeing the Flash sniper.
Yeah, counter-sniping by Scruff on Swift's end here, so both teams opting for the sniper rifle, seeing what they can do. Nobody really peeking too aggressively yet. Scruff and Spawn, Flash barely peeking from main. Both kind of know where each other are, but nobody wants to commit.
A little bit hesitant at the moment as neither wants to get picked early. So we are going to be seeing Flash rotate to top. And takes it one shot and then gets cleaned up instantly by Lucas.
Yeah, really nice call there. They knew where he was, got the shot off, didn't kill because the beam was on him, but quick follow-up now by the rest of the team. Papi can on battalions, 40% damage resistance once it's up after 600 damage, I believe. And Gink on Conch on top of that, which only takes 400, I believe, 480 even, which speeds you up. So the double banner threat is interesting and can make you a little bit more unpredictable due to just being harder to kill with the damage resistance and the heals you get. So if they get an opportunity to push out, it could be like going fairly quickly their way if they actually know what they're doing, obviously out of last. They just need to get there first, and that's the hard part.
Yeah, Scruff checks on Spy and sees the Sniper's back up, and he's going to be switching to Sniper of his own to contest. But yeah, we've definitely seen that double banner thing from SVIFT before, and they like to run it on maps like this, so it seems pretty effective for them.
Yeah, it just helps you a little bit if you don't jump much.
Flash does take out Lucas there, and the sentry gets taken down as well, so this is opening a lot of space for Se7en as Tiger runs in to Secret and carrying a bit of a distraction there.
Captain on the point as well, that's what I mean, they just do so much at the same time and no one on SVIFT is ready for it. They get the shot, immediate spam onto the gun, followed up by Tiger just walking into main, taking a random fight, distracting everybody. Captain just runs into lower, walks into the point, and so many things going at the same time. SVIFT completely overwhelmed, and Se7en taking the 1-1 round.
Yeah, huge threat from Se7en there, and eventually managed to bully their way in and kill the point. So we'll see what the mid's going to be like here. So far the soldier aggression hasn't been too successful, and again, much similar start to mid as both teams take their side and work out how they're going to aggress.
See what they can do with this. Gink and Stark going for the big weapon, and Captain actually supporting his fellow soldier there, and it works out in their favor, while Gink is completely on his own, and Elbow gets taken over by the scouts. Suddenly this is looking so much worse for SVIFT. Their Captain even on hunt on the medic, everybody else on the point also cleaned up. Captain unsuccessful though, gets cleaned up behind by Scruff, but everybody else has so much space on mid because of it. He forced them back onto second. Really nice play there. They had similar idea at the beginning, just committing 2 players in it compared to just 1 on Se7en, and that made all the difference here.
And saving grace is that Seeds has managed to get out, and they are going to be able to build Uber, and it does look like it is going to be a second mid stalemate.
Yeah, interesting to see if they bust off banners again. For the moment, no, so no fancy banner shenanigans, and it could be interesting to see. You have not the greatest of options here for just a pure exchange. I mean, we just saw how bad this could go in the first round, and it basically costed Se7en the first round to begin with. So they probably want to approach it a little bit more carefully, you know. Would raise the question of what exactly the plan is here. And obviously Sniper is always an option, but it's never the best one.
Well, they've rotated Cadus big doors here, obviously thinking about trying something a bit different. Maybe go for a big doors push this time.
Yeah, maybe the sticks are there to like bait people out too aggressively, but you kind of need to expect it. I like the fancy trap by Lucas and Choke as well.
Yeah, very neat. I like it. It's going to be a Captain bomb through Choke, and he immediately gets destroyed by that beautifully lined up trap.
Perfect traps by Lucas. Watch them at 0 ping at land.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Actually, Gink back on the conch as well. I wonder if Papi followed through with his as well. No, not for the moment. So only the conch it is, which takes 480 damage to build. Gives you when it's ready. Yeah. I don't know how much of a speed boost. About like roughly 40% for each. It's class dependent, and heals you to a degree depending on how much damage you deal. Roughly, I would say.
It can make the banners difficult to play against, right? Because Se7en want to play this slow, they don't want to rush it, but the slower they play it, the more those banners build up, and they're going to be in a position where the after Uber fights are a lot more difficult for them.
Yeah, it worked on last because they played so quick off of everything at the beginning, and like the moment they got an opportunity, that there was no time to pop the banner, and that's what you need to abuse. The fact that
the Uber is going to come through Choke here though, and they managed to force it out on Lucas quite early and hightail it out of there.
So exchange has been gotten. Question is what to do with this. Seeds again with a slightly better one, but they can't chase too deep into enemy territory there with that. Lucas actually decides to drop down onto stickies, but Cadus can see it, and he would have survived probably anyway. It was just 2. So with
the big rotation has come in here, and Se7en getting a bit aggressive again, but choose to back off when the rotation in kind comes in from SVIFT.
Captain and Papi just waddled past each other and Choke top and bottom there. Papi wants to get out there, but Captain got the call. Papi is in lower and he gets spotted, shot down before he can do anything. And in the same moment, Gink died as well. Stark dies for it eventually, but Tiger got the alliance due to it. And suddenly, Se7en has all the space with that distraction. They forced him to rotate there, and it just gave them so much space.
Yeah, maybe a bit unfortunate there as Papi gets caught out and they just don't have enough to basically fight the point there. It's not worth overcommitting there because the last defense is super important.
Yeah, it's like the moment you overcommit on second while they already got like almost all the space, you just doom yourself to die because the way out is so choky through the shutter doors, through the small lobby area, that it's just really hard to make. So they wait out the risks and try to play it safe, which ends up giving Se7en the second point here, but it might still be worth it in the long run if they get out of last again, and they did it once with an attempt there, but I don't know if it will be too easy for Se7en to just not do the same thing again.
Yeah, just the single banner this time, and Pyro and NG going for a little bit of a different hold, not too drastically different, and we'll see if Se7en can bust it open again.
they're looking for the damage right now without a sniper this time, which changes obviously how they play this. But the general idea is the same. Gun needs to go, and then we just have go time with whatever we want to do. Play point, play sacks, and just try to create as much chaos as you can that you still have control over, and they don't. So that's the plan here, but Tiger is just about in the sight.
Well, I don't think he was expecting the sentry to be able to get him there, but it does manage to go him. Maybe he's just sacking the sniper though, potentially.
I actually like the support for this position that Se7en tries to play on the Ras, which makes it harder to spam it from river, and from anywhere basically, because everywhere is just like, you get shot by the gun, and everywhere close that you can peek in safety from, there should be people around. So this might be working, the question is for how long.
Yeah, the only problem is the lopsidedness of it does leave you a bit vulnerable from a river, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, that's for sure. You have the ability to just walk into under from the point a bit quicker, and it doesn't seem like they have too many eyes on that one, or a few sticks there, sure, but that's about it.
But yeah, Se7en aren't going to be rushing this. They're pretty much experts by now at how to do this. And they're just going to sort of figure out what SVIFT are doing and keep poking and prodding until mistakes made, and the sentry does go down there. Might prompt a little bit of an aggression or maybe a sack from Saki.
They have a scout under the point, but the sticks are still there to deny any sort of point play early, and that makes life a lot harder. They do their hardest to clean those sticks. Flash actually shooting all of them off the point eventually. But
yeah, Tiger so busy. Stuck in water here, he's going to get crept up on by Pappy and unfortunately cleaned up.
Starkey wanted to come over and help. He might still get something out of it. No, Pappy just about gets out here back on the battalions himself as well. Ging cannot on any ban of any sort, so the only one they have is the 30% damage resistance. Being popped out now, you can hold it though, so it doesn't get used yet. Here it is, 30% damage resistance on SVIFT into lobby here, trying to see if they can get something with this. For the moment, looking dire, because there's nothing they can actually get.
Yeah, Se7en get out very quickly. Smart play from them. Managed to keep Raymond safe, and they're going to have the flash sniper now.
Nice attempt at least, but the Se7en just aware of what's happening. They backed off early, not staying in lobby when they shouldn't. And it doesn't give Se7en a huge advantage now. Obviously the banner's gone, but they have
Flash does take Gink down, sniping through main there. And the pressure on the sentry is going to come in again. Potentially the unraveling has begun.
The entry actually goes down. Cages just pipes him instead of the gun, which is good, because that's a safe pick for now. But the Pyro just gets all the kills in lobby.
Yeah, Se7en struggling a bit there. Couldn't quite get the sort of subsequent picks after the sniper got the first one, but it's pretty much a reset.
Yeah, Lucas tried to jump in at the very end to just jump onto Raymond, get the force out late, but he just sniped him in Shutter Door before he could lift off, and that's a demo death that unfortunately for Se7en can't get punished too well, because they all were respawning still, so Lucas gets back on the field in time. Very unfortunate timing there for the death on Lucas, but it helps SVIFT all the more to stay here.
You remember when you said Se7en slow die was gone now? Yeah, thanks for that. We're playing Gully, of course it isn't gone.
Well, I mean, so far it's holding is SVIFT, so...
There is a pick onto Flash in River, as both the soldiers getting very aggressive. Good synchronized aggression there in River, and also Tiger, by the looks of it, is going to have to back out.
Yeah, nice little double commit by Solis, and the aggression off of it is their attempt into lobby has been made. A few picks helped, but it's so hard still with just two to make a good move. Gink with the heads up play tries to wrap around. The spawns come in though, he has to be quick, otherwise he gets spotted all the way to choke for him, and he finds Raymond straight there wanting to take the pack. So little damage needed to be done there for that to work, and
the force is out on Raymond though from that Gink bomb. And that's unfortunate for Se7en, because they're going to be facing banners and Ubers here, probably.
Yeah, and I already heard one getting popped out here on somebody, Papi, I think it is. Yes, the battalions yet again. They're ready, they're just being careful for the moment, not wanting to get rushed.
They want to make sure Gink's up so they don't get back capped from a weird angle here.
Yeah,
Gink probably clear out River.
And the banner with the 30% damage resistance on top of the crit resistance, because that's also important to notice with a sniper on the field. So Flash damage output is severely nerfed right now, so they're coming from top. Starkey just eaten up alive, but he still dies.
Destroyed by Flash. The body shot coming in. You don't need the crit if you body shot them, right?
Yeah, that's just 150 damage, and if you're not full health after the first jump there, then that's just the medic gone.
Let's say Flash meant to do that, right?
I mean, he saw. I mean, he must have heard banner being popped, so you know the smart thing to do is not to shoot the head.
Yeah, there's a potential he might not have been close enough to Pappy as well there. Didn't quite see. So it's going to put us in the position where Se7en will be wanting to repush with their big Ugrad. It's a soldier above choke here, goes a little bit too early and takes a lot of damage. Yeah, but it's going to be the fight breaking out here is Se7en busting second without having to use, and SVIFT are just going to have to get out of there before they start bleeding.
Yeah, they back off quickly. Guns already being built. They are aware of the position they're in, and they aren't that far away. A decent hold can get seeds just about to Uber in time, but it needs to be a really good one as the pop comes in from main.
They're rushing through main with the Uber, the kind of classic push that you want to do if you do have that.
Covers nothing. What is this gun placement for Classy? It just is on the spawn door and Se7en sees it, shoots it once, figures, well, we can just play the point, and then it's just over.
Yeah, I think that's where they put it, like, when they're just building it, but they weren't expecting the really quick aggression from Se7en. Perhaps they should have been with the big Uber.
Yeah, and it just works for Se7en all the better. 2-1 lead now.
So we'll see how this one pans out again. Both demos going their choke. They'll probably all line up against each other. Although Stark is making a drop down play. This time gets spotted early and cleaned away. Big bomb here from Pappy into choke. Managed to get some good rockets, and it's going to be a great mid for SVIFT as they get 3 very quickly there.
Yeah, let's see how this ends up shaping up here for SVIFT with the full Uber into last. Nobody on the surviving end for Se7en really trying to make any plays here. The soldiers all back to last for the moment. So it will be just an Uber into last by the looks of it. Not much else resistance by Se7en for the moment. Guns being built, power up. Soldiers on SVIFT end actually trying to already look getting some damage. Maybe the gun getting spammed down early, but none of that happening. Starkey actually dies to that though.
Yeah, that's really not good for them. One player down, and at an Uber this side, SVIFT can really make a lot happen with this Uber if they're careful.
Yeah, straight in, straight over the point for Scruff, straight onto Cadus with Ging on the other side.
Cadus gets cleaned up early, and the point is just going to be played.
There we go, that's what's a really quick one. They knew what they had to do there, just get something onto the point, Papi from under, Scruff from over the point with the flash. So Cadus had a 2v1 to deal with as a demo, one of which being invincible. The rest of you were just dedicated to stuffing people back into spawn or killing everything that isn't, and just having that point play be as over as quick as possible.
Yeah, so onto our 5th mid. It's a very even game so far. Let's see what this one has in store for us. A couple of soldiers getting aggressive down low, and there's going to be a bomb onto point from Captain to kind of deny a lot of damage on the side of Red so far. Scout and Soldier low as Gink and Pappy do go down.
Stark behind lines as well the entire time from this mid fight here. Just from drop down, just denying space, being annoying and doesn't let them take space for free up top, and it works so well. They force back early, the follow up is there. Lucas Scruff go down, but the attempt is on the seeds. It's not good enough though to catch these. Classy gets them out of there in time.
And Se7en not going to be as hesitant as SVIFT, trying to put a lot of aggression in early before they push.
They don't have Uber yet, and they realize just in time that only DuMmTm at 17 Uber% there, so kind of just bad padded quickly, but the force comes out with that.
I don't think Captain was quite expecting Uber to come out quite early, and he just gets annihilated.
Well, it's the force either way, and they still only have 2 down and an Uber themselves, so worst case they can just pop in and try to get kills before anything happens here. Classy overcommits so much though, and Seeds goes down to the same trap, trying to help him out there.
2 people bled there puts SVIFT in a dangerous position as they're facing the full Uber.
This is a really bad spot. Spawn's bout will get up in time if they can block this, but if they can block this depends on if they actually want to
the point play is coming straight in, Sick is all over it, 2 scouts, and it's cleaned very quickly.
Quick response by Se7en there with a really nice clean mid fight off of just basically all the space Dark bought them behind, and nice awareness to not feed into last early, just take the Uber first, and somehow getting even more kills on second out of that.
Yeah, so I want to keep an eye on Starkey this mid, see what he's up to, because he's been a bit of a pest, causing all sorts of nuisances behind. He does choose to sort of make a big bomb going straight onto the down, doesn't manage to take him down because of a bit of a distraction on the side of SVIFT early on, and the rebomb's going to come in and just get completely cleaned up with scouts.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird mid fight. Nobody really took top too much. Both teams just in big door. The bombs comes out early, so either team just tries to deal with that, but Se7en manned space so much earlier with Stark's bomb, and counter bombs were denied much more confidently by Se7en being ready for that sort of play. So Se7en just kind of forced their playstyle onto SVIFT there really nicely, works out in their favor.
Crucially though, Seeds does get out, and they're not going to be facing a ad this time. Potentially could put up a bit more of a fight.
Let's see, even Uber situation, yeah.
A bit aggressive in lobby with his traps here, but does get out before the scouts come hunting him.
Ooh, Stark on Spy could be interesting. The gun's up, the pyro's up, you have the ability to spy check, and the less you do on Se7en here, the more apparent it becomes that the spy's on the field. So you can't let it be too obvious that you just wait for the spy to make the play.
Ooh, Stark threading the needle between the 2 soldiers there, and he does manage to get himself into secret.
Ooh, speaking of the soldiers, Gink on and Papi again on the double banner. However, no conch for Gink this time. Now it's the buff banner. He just wants 30% damage increase that the mini could do. And also, not just that, but also like lack of damage fall off as well, which just increases damage over that.
Oh no, the pyro check secret and Starkey gets burned to a crisp. That's unfortunate.
That's an end to that play already, while both soldiers on Swift just desperately look for damage. They want this damn banner up in time for any sort of incoming push, and with the spy down, they have all the more time, but also even less opportunities to find damage, because Se7en wisely knows what to do here. They back off early, don't want to get surprised in lobby by anything.
Yeah, they're never too overly aggressive in Gully lobby. They always manage to get the players out early, and it's one of the reasons they're so tough to defend against, because they don't often give you a chance to push out.
Yeah, less aware team would just have somebody straggling somewhere, or just don't back off in time in general, and suddenly you get forced in lobby really badly, and it's just all against you. Se7en, well aware there, doesn't overcommit to anything. Still aggressive, want to look for the damage, want to get the gun. Starkey made overcommit for that. Actually trades with Party before that happened. Backs off into the gun's range, so it's a trade in the end, but somehow the double commit there works out in Se7en's favor to not lose anyone at least.
And again, Tiger's going to be hanging around in River, but it looks like Swift are aware of it as they put a bit more pressure on the point. Have the soldiers standing on the ring.
Is just waddling in there from the other side, and that's what they do so much. Everybody expects point play coming in from behind. Nobody does expect the scout come in to just waddle in from main into secret and then to the point. There is the sticks as well. Flash is ready. Ginkgo was still in position, needs to be distracted first as Flash starts this play. Eventually gets shot down so early though by Lucas and Gink.
Yeah, Swift realizing what was going on, realized that the 7 players had got something planned for a point play, and they just sort of put a soldier on top, stick it up.
That is so much better than having like a soldier under the point watching stuff, or just stickies that can be cleaned easily. Because like you just saw here, the scout from secret is so much better against those things than it is against the soldier on the ring, that it just happened to work really well for Swift here.
Yeah, and Swift are going to choose to do a bit of a push out here, obviously feeling like they need to make something happen for themselves, but they're going to back out again.
Let's see, Se7en continues Scuff on Spy. I believe that he's just checking, hoping to maybe find a spare Spy or Sniper on Se7en. Nothing of sorts to be found here on Se7en's end. So vanilla classes it will be, as the timer is ticking down. 7 minutes is still plenty of time given a run round difference, but with Se7en already on last, it's obviously still a lot harder for Swift to mount a comeback here. And this is, as we all know, Se7en's favorite position in the game. They have control over the map and they can just choose to do what they want, and Swift has to just deal with it for now.
I bet that time goes a lot faster when you're trying to push out against them. The point play does come in again, but he gets cleaned up by Pyro and a soldier. Again, Swift reacts quickly to it, so even though
but there we go, Captain finds the jump, that's what I'm talking about. Point gets played, everybody's busy dealing with that. Flash just baits a play in main and suddenly the force comes out, but they go deep with that, want to get the counter force as well, and somehow Flash dies with that too. Banner has been popped, Luke is kind of just stuck behind them. That's a really bad player to have behind.
Oh, he gets Goomba'd into the floor and shot down by Captain. That's a bit unfortunate as he tried to jump out, just got stomped on the head.
But that's a demo lacking on last right now. It's sure even Ubers with non-Uber on the field here, but it's not demo to be found. Cadis goes down so early though, and then with the banner coming out as well, they just deal so little damage, especially onto the heavy. 450 damage is so much worse. Yeah, you don't kill a man at heavy, unless you have some pretty heavy focus fire. And it's looking like a push-out opportunity for Swift as they're trying to come forward here. No pocket, no demo to deal with. They have advantage too, luckily out of force onto themselves, so...
Yeah, Luca's trying to hold lobby here, but the scout does manage to get through into lower, and it's going to put him in a dangerous position where he's in a 1v1 with Tiger. Tiger trying to go behind, but he's very low here.
It's just messy final seconds. It's really sketchy for Swift. They try their hardest to make it work, but Harpy can't get through. Lucas gets denied as well. Se7en keeps leading players, and Raymond doesn't have Uber yet. But Seeds eventually forced to use, gets Raymond. Classy, taking normal flash behind lines. Backup is the only threat Se7en has left in their book right now, and they bank all on everything they have on it to make something happen. Flash back aggressive now, tries to bait him into last and go for the kill. Well, Captain goes for the cap instead. Leave off, which works. Nice attempt by Se7en to try to make the best of it, but the banner want to last, push out afterwards. Was just a bit too good, despite the sketchy start that he just had the advantage to make it work here.
Actually, a great play from Flash there. Managed to win a 1v1 in lobby and delay Swift quite a lot there.
Yeah, and if he was any faster and had any more health, that would have potentially been scary for Seeds too on top of that.
So, Swift are going to want to come into mid here, but they don't quite have Uber, and Cadis is setting up some sneaky traps. Potential of a bomb coming in here as well. But Se7en do choose to give up mid here, I think.
Yeah, just a safe take for now. So Tiger is threatening it the sideline a bit here, but nothing too much happening out of the sniper just yet as they're all backing off. It's still disadvantage for Se7en. They can't overkill him too much here unless they get a safe force, which Captain is kind of looking for in the forward position, but it's such a predictable play that it's so unlikely to happen. He just doesn't really overcommit to it in the first place.
The bomb onto the point does come in from Papi to make some space for his team, and Se7en obliged by moving out, apart from Tiger, who gets kind of caught in the shutter there. Uber is popped from the side of Swift as they rush into last, trying to get as many picks as they can before they make the last push. Scout is going to be on point straight away as well, so this is pretty much going to be it. If they can't frag him, they do manage to get him with the Uber there.
It was sketchy though, because they wanted to chase people last into last really deep, but nobody was in main, everybody was river, so they didn't get much out of it. Just enough people on 7 survived to block all of this, and still have numbers left here for the repush into second before spawns come up for Swift. It all happened to work out perfectly for 7, positioning wise. Really nicely played, and they get out of last before they were even stuck there to begin with on disadvantage. Even more so.
Yeah, Uber's kind of close here, but Swift are probably going to want to use the little lad they have to try and get in. Yeah, Kada's kind of overcommitting in big doors here, manages to get cleaned up. Scout also taking a lot of damage, but he does eventually go the way of Se7en as the players sort of overcommit after getting Kada's.
Yeah, Kada's kind of fat, but at least he hit the shots, and that makes feeling so much more worth it. He got like 1.5 kills. The Roller kind of did what Flash didn't quite get in time, and everybody on 7 was already there for the follow-up attempt anyway to clean up some more. And with 2 kills, they could just keep pressing W to begin with, so really fortunate for 7 there.
Full wipe is not what you want when the time is against you and you're behind. So it's gonna probably be defending last again for Swift, which is not where they want to be. Lucas is going to try and get something early in lobby here, but probably be forced out. Although the fight is going to come in top lobby here, they do manage to get the force onto Raymond quite early. Players going down and the point is being played is going to be 4-2.
And Swift needs a miracle right now. It's mathematically possible, I believe you can do this, but realistically, you need to wipe them on mid and last twice in a row now and just need 4 perfect fights in a row. And if the first one is already bad, then it's just pretty much over. So if anyone too much dies here, it's games, it's all on Swift right now.
What was it? I said 5-2? Come on, one more round and you prove me right. So the aggression coming here early onto Lucas as Soldier and the Scout. He has to back out into his own elbow, and again, Papi bombing, not managing to get much. 2 players down early for Swift, they're going to have to back out.
And there we go, that is pretty much it. Mid over, aggression denied. 7 knew what they had to do, just get the kills safely, keep Raymond alive. And now they just play forward, want to get the 5-2 round to prove you right, I guess.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster. They're going to get the win difference victory at this rate.
We'll see,
yeah, so 7 are choosing to be quite aggressive here. Papi gets caught out at Shutter, and Uber gets forced from seeds much earlier, and they just back Raymond out into lobby.
Yeah, Uber's trying to chase deep into the lobby.
Yeah, Lucas is going to get caught though, and he does get taken down, and that leaves them in a very scary position as the Scout starts playing the point.
And that is pretty much it. 5-2, a minute left. You can barely get around here.
They're not going to though, because they are going to back up my theory, you know?
Clearly. They have a minute, so it's not impossible, but
we can still see a huge air shot of mid, potentially.
That is true, and especially now people just do whatever anyway, so somebody's gonna jump just randomly at a soldier and die.
I'm gonna just position myself in the skybox. Okay, just going for the early aggression to try and catch Lucas out. He's just a little bit too quick. It like puts the sticky there too early.
There we go, Stark cleans it up, and that's still a free demo kill. You can effectively there.
That's a little risky strat you can do as demo. That's a bit of fun.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, you're like dead immediately, but you know, if it works, then maybe you get the demo for free and then die. Or in this case, you just stone him out and then just fall back.
Scruff's gonna pad his logs here, getting healed. He should be able to take Tiger down.
He does, and he does. Without heals anyway. Just catches him running away. There we go, Scruff gets the kill, 20 seconds left. Swift wins the final mid-fight on the logs, doesn't matter, not really. 5-2 loss in the end, 4-2 loss realistically, it was over at that point anyway. And yeah, everybody basically gave up at that point, pretty much anyway.
Yeah, GG's have been called.
Really close and good game though, after all. The Swift, I expected like so much less out of them on Gully, so I'm fairly impressed with how they've done. Really unfortunate for them though that they didn't get any points out of this second map. It was, especially compared to product, so much closer for them.
Yeah, it will finish 5-2, and unfortunately Swift not managed to get any maps this week. But
7's Iron
I'd
on
still
last
argue that we haven't seen the best of 7. They were still making some big mistakes that we don't usually see them make.
Yeah, the first round was a bit of a meme in my opinion. On both sides, that is. Both teams just kind of flubbed.
Yeah, because it went back and forth a bit before Swift won it too, so...
Yeah, they kind of both flubbed at the first round, and then it just became a really good game afterwards. And it's just not enough for Swift to manage the comeback. Once 7 was on last, they just kept going. It just kept going their way every single time.
Yeah, so take a look at the logs here, and like generally pretty good scout map, but overall Flash having another good performance.
Yeah,
but
both him
also
and Scruff on top.
Scruff on the side of SVIFT doing some work. Just a little bit less PM though, maybe sort of stealing kills.
Actually, pretty interesting how both SVIFT scouts didn't die as much, especially in a losing game. It obviously has a lot to do with actually, yeah, it probably mostly has to do with the last game. But now that I think about it, soldiers are more the playmakers, and on
Yeah.
7, and like on 7, the scouts are the playmakers on last, and on SWIFT, the soldiers are in comparison to that. Like, we see constantly Flash and Tiger just walk in random places that SWIFT doesn't expect to just overwhelm them with that and get to the point, or on the medic, where on SWIFT it's mostly just like Papi and Gink with the banners trying to make plays, looking for damage, which sometimes you just die for at some points, and you can't really avoid it too much. So it just really shows the difference of ideas how to play in last and into last on both of these teams.
Yeah, and it's never a fun game for you when you have to play 10 minutes on NG like Classy did. But it's going to be a fat sick there shots for Captain. We like to see it.
Actually, really interesting. Raymond died technically 2 times more than Seeds. However, Seeds also has a 30% drop rate on his lives, so not quite what you were looking for, unfortunately.
Yeah. Seeds is in a lot of different positions there to Raymond, especially when he's having to hold last for so long.
Yeah, it was actually really interesting how different these teams played in the end, despite how close it was. So that's always nice to see here in the end. And it was a bit of a double-edged game, basically. We had a lot of fast moments, a lot of slow moments, where both teams just looked for opportunities slowly but surely, and then eventually just came striking quickly when they just got the single thing going for them. In example 7, just got 1 kill with the sniper, and immediately the gun is down and 2 scouts are in last. Stuff like that.
So, I'm assuming we're going to get some players in here for an interview.
Maybe. Some teams are just not keen for that, you know? Oh, there we go. We have Classy in here from SWIFT and Tiger from Se7en.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Good games, guys.
Great
really
games.
Good stuff. Congratulations to Se7en. Commiserations to SWIFT. Close game, though, for you, Classy, in the end. How are you feeling about this, playing against Se7en here, and unfortunately not quite getting a point out of it?
You know, always feels bad losing. Congrats to Se7en for beating my Prem win streak. I had a perfect record in Prem until this match.
So, exactly 2.
Yeah, they conquered me.
Is this how it works in your team? They send the new boy to do the interviews? Bit harsh.
No, I just said I wanted to do the interviews. I just,
Oh, good man.
I just left them mumble when I came in here. Hard loss. Everyone's pretty beat down.
Right, and on Se7en here, Tiger, how are you feeling about this? SWIFT obviously haven't played them in official before, maybe in scrims. What were your expectations going against this team here?
Well, I thought we would win, but it was pretty close on Gully. It was pretty good. It was a good game.
All right, Prawn, any specific questions you have in your mind right now? You had a lot of things going on pre-game.
Well, yeah, we mentioned how Classy's new to the team, just like how he's settling in, as like any sort of things that you weren't expecting about playing in Prem, just basically how's it going?
I mean, we've mostly been or I don't know, I've been sort of testing different ways to play the flank side role. One screen, so a couple of screens I played really heel heavy, and a couple times just played pretty flank heavy. So I'm still trying to just settle into a role on the team. But I don't really blame. I don't blame that for. I'm not trying to use that as an excuse for losing the game or anything. I think we all had stuff to improve on. So
fair enough. So before the game, we were talking about Product was potentially going to be the more contested map, but it ended up being Gully. What did you guys think coming in, Tiger? Did you think that Product might be a bit closer?
Yeah, I thought that would be from my perspective anyway. We didn't really talk about it that much, but I thought Product would have been the closer game. But I don't know. Me and Dalash were playing well tonight, so it was a lot better than we're usually sort of used to, and everything sort of came together in the end. And it feels good to actually win Product again now, because I used to love the map.
It's good stuff. So going back to Classy, as a team, obviously you're looking pretty strong this season. Obviously not able to beat Se7en, but most people wouldn't be surprised by that. Do you think you have a chance to be able to maybe beat Ascent this season and be the second place team?
I think recently in scrims, like past 2 or 3 couple of scrims, Ascent has been like just rickrolling us. But it's like otherwise we've had like a couple of close cases against them. Like maybe not on product. That's still like probably the hardest map against Ascent. Yeah. It's like probably just like we play really good on product against certain teams, and against other teams, like I think Se7en and Ascent, we just get like sort of we can't really figure stuff out on product, or like we sort of sometimes we know what's going wrong, but we just like sort of we just fail to execute it, you know.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, and I have one more important question, which is next week is going to be everybody's favorite week, which is Logjam week. How are you guys feeling about the map being back?
I think I played like once.
Yeah, I looked through your rosters, and like I think 2 of your players, both of your soldiers, like were in ETF2L already playing when it was last played. So like SVIFT doesn't quite have the experience, I would imagine, compared to Se7en, who mostly played then already. I think
Cadus, Stark, and Captain are like the OG Logjam players.
So you already have secret strats like ready to bust out from the past.
I mean, the only thing I remember from Logjam was Captain hitting a fucking huge air shot.
I feel like that's what everybody remembers. So that's it.
You seen the tech air shot on Stark?
Oh, on Stark, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we're not allowed to mention that in mobile. he gets upset when we mention that.
But yeah, I think last time I scrimmed, where I played a match on Logjam, that wasn't a scrim or a pug. Like this year was probably like in a lobby in like 2016 or something.
Yeah, like they put it on PugChamp, but I don't think I've played it on PugChamp yet. I think it's every single time it's been banned.
Everyone bans it, yeah.
Which is
it's only the 8 pugs.
A bit counterintuitive because you never get to practice it, I guess. But you know, that's what scrims are for.
We did scrim it like in preseason a couple of times, and it was alright. I mean, it's different, definitely, but it could be a fun map. But I just think it might have the the problem that every new map has is where no one knows it, so they don't want to play it.
Yeah, and if nobody knows how to play it, then mostly going to play passively.
Well, either that or, it's not going to be back next season.
Yeah, everyone will just cry and get it removed.
Yeah, it's going to be like one extreme or the other. Either everybody plays super passive or everybody's just going to feed because they don't know what to do with holding. But yeah, looking at the opponents for next week, SVIFT is playing the Avant squad, the Frenchies. How are you guys feeling against them? Or do you played them in scrims or something with any, like...
Wait, which Frenchies?
Avant, Amarok.
Callbacks.
Oh,
yeah. Amarok callback, yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much we beat them pretty consistently in scrims. So I think we're much more confident against them in going into it. I don't think most people feel like there's things to that we need to, look at a lot, like when we played against Se7en or when we play against Ascent. I think games go more smoothly against a team like Corback's team.
Alright, on Se7en's end, Logjam and Gullywash week will be against the Vaucrevin, the other French squad. Currently, I think, bottom table. So, expectations are probably a little bit one-sided, I would imagine.
Yeah, we're probably going to win.
It's just even confidence, it's just, probably, yeah.
Alright, there'll be trouble if you drop around.
I think Gully is a for sure, but Logjam obviously is a new map, and it could happen on Logjam.
Yeah, you never know who actually has the best strats. Obviously, you have an advantage on your team with a really lot of experience on the map compared to some other people, but
I don't even think it's that, because it is literally it's very different from old Logjam anyway.
Yeah, there was more indoor area on Vidpla, I remember.
Well, yeah,
it's bigger area.
More, yeah, it's a bit more it's separated. There's different parts of lobby or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I don't think really experience on that map is going to make that much difference because it's still completely different, and obviously that was 3 years ago or something. Whenever they were playing.
Yeah, that was 1920.
I think it's just more obviously Se7en's been a team for a lot longer than the other team has. I don't know how to say the name.
Yeah. So, I mean, every caster just has the Frenchies unless they play against each other, in which case we all get confused.
Yeah.
The good Frenchies and the bad Frenchies. There you go. Sorted.
At the moment, that's what you can still say, unless eventually they tie in points. But yeah, unless you have any last questions, Prawn, we can just throw it to shoutouts.
Well, in case Classy wanted to mention the SWIFT fundraiser, because I know they're doing a little bit of that for LAN.
Get
Yeah.
seeds to LAN. Get seeds to
Donate
LAN.
to the SWIFT fundraiser, please. If we meet the goal before 1st of March, I'll shave my head bald for LAN.
Do it.
Is that actually a thing?
I mean, I've done it before, so I know how my bald head looks like, you know. So,
Oh, fair enough.
but
If you donate extra, can people slap it at LAN?
that's gonna be like a cash donation in my hand at LAN before you do it. Otherwise, you'll get a slap back if you slap my head.
Okay,
You never know,
think
maybe somebody
pretty
wants that
much it.
specifically. But yeah, let's just move over to shoutouts then. Classy, you can start. Let's go.
I guess shouts to my team for playing, you know, not giving up. Shouts to Se7en. Shouts to all the other teams in ETF2L, and shouts to Capo Carneems.
Alright, Tiger, what do you?
Shouts to Se7en, shouts to the cast, shouts to Swift, who's fun games. That's about it.
Alright, Prawn, any final words here for you?
At least you didn't say words of wisdom this time. But yeah, shout out to Bubble Hut again, and subscribe to Bread1810.
Alright, and from me, it's shout out to my boys on Spy Boys, besides Prawn, because screw him. And yeah,
Thanks, lad.
basically, see you everybody next time. I think there's a game scheduled tomorrow. I'm pretty sure I already got casters in there. There's nothing on the match page, so that might change last minute, because that's what Ombrek likes to do, but we'll see if it happens or not.